performance of different institutions in this republic has been a mixed bag. And let us begin with the most visible and the most powerful institution of the Fourth Republic, which is the presidency. The four presidents that we have had in this republic differ from one another in democratic temperament, in tolerance of criticism, in anti-democratic short fuse, and in overarching ambition to dominate the environment. While some of them kept their political party on a short leash, others dined with their political party with a long spoon. All the four presidents of the Fourth Republic are better known for their frown than for their smile. Only one of them mastered the art of comic relief. None of the four is famous for his oratorical skills. Even though one of them was a PhD, none of the four is regarded to be an engaging intellectual, and certainly none of the four qualifies as a philosopher king. All four presidents that we have had in this republic are, however, united by a common dislike for the mass media, a common suspicion of the National Assembly, a common antipathy towards the judiciary, a common distrust of labor unions and civil society groups, an abiding faith in foreign governments, a love for foreign newspapers and foreign associations, a common love for attending ceremonial meetings abroad, a common tendency to take Nigerian citizens for granted, and a common predilection to repeat the mistakes of the past.
I think that what he addressed is the fragility of institutions building in our democratization process. And I think it was the chairman who made the distinction between democracy and civilian governments. Some would look at what we have as 20 years of civilian governments as against 20 years of democracy. And the gap in between is the capacity to build institutions that underpin democracy. The principles, the ethos, the values, the practices of democracy are still very rudimentary in terms of our own process of development of this tradition of democracy. When it comes to the matter of the different levels of government and their strength, you know clearly that everybody looks up. So the federal government is stronger in many ways. It's more capacitated. As soon as you go to state level, people stop looking. People even stop looking on issues that affect their direct states, but they look to the federal government. So at the state level, therefore, you have governors who basically monopolize the space, whereas much attention is given to what happens at the center, less attention is given to what happens at the state levels. And so what has happened is that democracy is practiced very much in the breach at the state levels because the governor is the be-all and end-all. The governor can determine what the state assembly does or in its entirety. The same thing happens with the judiciary. They can determine what the judiciary, how it functions. And so the principle of separation of powers does not work as much as it fairly works at the federal level. These are real germane issues. These are troubling issues in the democratic development process.